Hi, and welcome to my life on islands. I think I did all right coming out of quarantine. Not too bad. This is Blue Water. It's a development in Cairns, Australia, which is in Queensland, Northern Australia. Not too shabby. I have been stuck in worse places. So as far as quarantine is concerned and self-isolation, I suppose if I'm going to be isolated somewhere, this whole get-up is not too bad. So what's life been like here in Australia? Well, a lot different than a lot of places in the world, because right away with the shutting down of airplanes, the shutting down of airports, the closing down of a lot of businesses, and a very specifically phased reopening, now life is pretty normal. Got my hair done, I think in April pretty normally, which was amazing. The clubs and bars are still closed, so any place where there's not a food service, but just, can't do that. So that's fair. Victoria, which is one of the southernmost state on the east coast, has been reclosed because it's re-spreading there. So the second wave concerns are pretty serious anywhere, as they are here. So that's reclosed. So they now no longer can come up here, because we're like the Florida for everyone at home of Australia. But basically the government gave money to businesses to be able to keep their employees employed, called JobKeeper, while COVID's been going on. There was also, each state had their ability to keep people from being evicted pretty well. Slowly these things are tapering off because we've had a very slow transition. So businesses and restaurants could have 10 people at a time, and then 20 at a time. I mean, I think in northern Queensland, we still couldn't go sit at a restaurant till there was about 5 weeks with 0 cases, 0 local transmission before we could go out and congregate. There's not been mask ordinances up here because there hasn't been any need, but you have to sign in and out of every restaurant. We have an app for tracing, and anywhere you go into, still you've got to use either they ask you to wash your hands, and or you have sanitizer. So things are pretty still serious, and like I said, I still can't go to a bar and club, so like that's not better. But the reality is people took things seriously here, and that's why I'm getting my freedom back, unlike a lot of people. And it's because no one here has taken this in a hyper partisan way. There's been no fighting on a hyper-partisan line here. There's no been issue over left or right or what's going on. Everything here that's been discussed has been sincerely and seriously from an area of just concern for what's going to be the public good. So that's a little bit of what's going on here. I know it's taken me a while, but it's just been stressful watching home, watching my family, not knowing what to do. But in the meantime, I felt good about being comfortable, prepping my classes for the fall. This has been a great rental, right? How fancy. But that's because we don't have tourists coming up here. So all the folks from the south, where it's really cold right now in winter, would love to come up here where it's fancy. They can't do it, so you get really good prices on a rental. So I got to move in a little bit, and we'll go back to showing you stuff around Cairns, because I get to be a tourist again because people here did the right thing. And the rest of you at home can have this too. Stay home, do what you need to do, stop touching each other, stop having parties, and you'll get there. Stay safe.